It is 6:30 a.m. Let's see what it's like outside. No condensation on the tent. That's nice. Had a pretty broken night's sleep, to be expected really, but my left elbow was aching. Probably doesn't bode well for today, but it was aching in such a way that I just couldn't get comfortable. But look at this though. The birds have been chirping away since about 5:30, so I've just been relaxing in the tent. Caught up with the football highlights and the F1 highlights. This is nice. Let's get some water boiling so we can get some porridge and coffee. It's safe to say I might need a better sleeping mat. So that's lost about 2/3 of its air. Why they had the other one underneath as well. That one stayed as it was. Farmer out there on his quad bike must be checking his fence lines. And we are ready for day 2. All packed up. Slightly more efficient than yesterday, I think. Leaving no trace. Fortunately that fire was here before me, and anybody who's seen me will probably blame that damn kayaker who stayed last night. But you'd never know I was here. We're heading off that way today, and look at the sky. Let's get in the water.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. See you later, camping spot. You were quality. Right in. Day 2. It is 8:45. Kind of meant to be gone by 8, but there was no rush this morning. Here were my neighbours. Didn't hear anything from them, and I don't think they would have heard anything from me. We've got the sun out from the get-go. We've got fields around us that look like Microsoft home screen. And a good 20 or so miles to Preston. So let's go. On our right hand side here is a campsite that I could have stayed at last night, I think. It's only about 1 kilometre on from where I was. I think I made the better choice. More of an adventure. See a lot of caravans on there. Haven't seen a tent yet. And the footpath was quite wide here as well, so I probably could have gone on there as well. But like I say, I preferred the more secluded spot. What a day. Crikey. Might be going home with a tan. And by tan, I mean red ears and a red nose. Morning.
Morning.
Where are they? I can't see them.
Nice building for it.
Beautiful. Oh man.
I'm going to Oxford.
Preston. See you later, mate. Good luck. Morning. Morning. Oh, lovely. It's even better than yesterday, isn't it? And that was good. A little bit of a headwind coming through here. Morning. Piccolo. Oh no, swan up there. Right then, we've got our first swan of day 2 up ahead. He's sitting plumb in the middle, so I'm assuming there must be a nest nearby. Wings are curling up. Yeah, wings are curling up. We're going into our standard angry position. So we'll keep to the right. We'll try and keep well away. I've not seen anything on the left yet. Little angry shake of the tail. I'm staying this side, mate, because I don't want to get between you and any possible nest. You're going to escort me down. Yeah. Oh, the ones yesterday were making noises. Okay. There's your nest on the other side. Or are we going to play chase all the way down this canal? Okay, against my better judgment, I will pull over to the left, see if he'll start coming back on the right hand side there. Well, he has turned around, so that's something. No, turn back. I don't think he'd be going back that. Good lad. Good man. He's heading back to the bridge. That's good. That's the first bit of excitement for the day. Well, we've got a great combo going on up here. I've got 2 swans ahead of me on the water and a headwind. God, that's just cruel. I'm going to stay to the right again. I think that these guys understand that. The one up to the side is, I'm guessing the female is just chilling. The male's got the wings curled up. Hello, you two. I'm just chilling by. Looking out the side of my eye here because I don't want to feel like looking straight at them, just threatening them or anything. Oh yeah, oh they're well chill. Maybe on this section of the canal they're a bit more used to people. Like we made it to Garstang Marina. The world's first fair trade town. Okay, up there, Bridge 64 Cafe. There's toilets here as well, and a water point, I believe. I was tempted to come here for breakfast, but I made something at camp. Looks like a nice place though. Lots of riverboats, not the narrow boats. Been fighting a bit of a headwind for the last couple of kilometres. Hoping to get a bit more sheltered again soon. Boat for sale there. The Blue Mist 2. Couldn't see a price on it. Oh, that's a fancy bridge. (1927). 98 years old. The wings are up. Quite chill, that one. Another water point. That's toilets maybe. Morning. Okay, we're less than an hour and a half into today, and I think this is swan number 5. My God. Get away, fella. Go on. Away with you. Fifth one of the day, that. Oh, aye. Oh, he is not. He's keeping an eye on me. Oh, that headwind's horrible. Glencoe. Right. There he comes. Away with you. Away with you. Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Away. Go on. Yeah, lost you. I haven't seen a nest. We've got an aqueduct coming up here. The Weir Aqueduct. A single span aqueduct, 110 feet long, carrying the canal 34 feet above the River Weir. Another one by John Rennie. First used in 1797. Jeez. There are countries that didn't exist back then. Morning. Got a riverboat catching me up here, so make it easier for it to get past. Good morning. I can outrun a narrowboat, but I can't outrun you.
Not that bad for me.
Wonder if we can get towed along a bit. Alright, guys. Just watching the world go by, them dogs. I think this is the closest we've been to the M6 for quite a while. You can hear the drone of the cars. Or maybe you can't with the headwind, I don't know. But I think we're going to run parallel with it for a little while. Check that property out. We've got a turning point at the top. That house. Old stone farmhouse. A garage. Although I've just heard a phone. I've just heard a train screaming past, so maybe that's the downside. Will do. Thank you. There are 2 more swans, but they're up on the land, so hopefully they'll be pretty chill about me down here. You can just see the neck sticking up. Alright. I'm listening out for that thud behind me of them slapping the wings on the water. No. No, we're good. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning. It's a long straight. Crazy golf from there. Barton Range Marina. flush. Another aqueduct. "60 feet long, 22 feet high." Another John Rennie design. That's the Brook Aqueduct. Okay, just coming up to a spot I was planning on having lunch. It's the Thaxtroof restaurant. But it looks like it might be busy with it being Easter Sunday. A fun ground, fun fair even. Right boys. Thank you. How high is the side? That's the question. All right, mate. Let's see how high it is on the other side. That's a bit better. Oh, we're in. Oh, God, my legs. Oh my God. Oh, I need to get some blood back in the legs. Where is this? Right then, let's go get some lunch. That's lunch done at Old Nell's Tavern. So let's get back underway. That place was busy, man. It's Easter Sunday, so it was bound to be. There's kids everywhere. There's like a fun fair on there, but it looks like the kind of place that was well busy in the summer. It was dead cold out of the water though. The wind was whipping, so I'm kind of hoping I'm going to be hitting low, a bit lower. About 18 kilometers to the end now. 3.5 hours maybe. Let's get back to it. Since leaving the pub at lunch, the canal is now heading west, which means the M6 is way behind us. And it is proper quiet out here. It's awesome. I've not seen anybody for the last 10 minutes. There was just 2 boats moored up on the side and 2 couples having a chat. It's just farmland. I can see a spire in the distance. Don't know what that's off, but we might meander past it, who knows. And it is warmed right up. Lovely, lovely day. Okay, we got our first swan of the afternoon. I was literally just thinking, well, I was doing well. Now, where are you protected, mate? There's a lot of reeds on the right, and they often nest in them. The footpath is on the right as well, so Would they? Give me a clue, mate. Give me a clue. I'm waiting for those wings to curl up. I can't see another swan. Don't like being on the left, but it is what it is this time. Oh, buddy, how you doing? Good, good. Nice and chill. Fair dues. That went all right. Yeah, swimming the other way. Not even bothered by me. Good afternoon. Right there. It is 1:30. There's a boat up ahead. Let's see how long it takes us to actually catch it up. It'll probably be a while. Slow gains. All right, mate?
Nice day for it.
Beautiful. You had any luck?
Yeah, but a few little perks.
Oh, nice. If I had £1 for every time I'd heard, it's a nice day for it today, I'd be loaded. Maybe not loaded, but it would have paid for lunch. Well, we didn't make it to that spire. It's off there to the left. That's as close as we got. I'll have to remember to have a look, see what it was. Hours. Lost a bit of ground through that bridge. Oh, I think we're going over another aqueduct here. And the boat in front has given up the chase. They knew I was coming. They're trying to save face. Afternoon. Okay, we got another swan up ahead. But he looks like he might have been riled up by 2 other kayakers. Which might not be good, but I think he's just spotted me. Where are you? Hi there. Don't see where the nest is, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. You stay over there, fella. Yeah, I know. I'm going, don't you worry. He's turned off. That's good. Oh, again, another kayaker. Oh, and a helicopter. Good afternoon. How are we doing?
How you doing?
What?
You alright?
It is warm. I've just stopped in the shade to lose a layer, and because it's Easter Sunday, a Freddo. A partially melted Freddo, but it's good still. Should be getting to Preston for about 5 p.m. I think. Carrying on at this rate. Nicely sheltered, hardly any wind. That's why it's suddenly red hot. All right, let's get going again. And then another aqueduct. Afternoon.
It's a beautiful way of doing it.
Yeah, it is. Especially on a day like today.
How far have you come?
The full length of the canal. Since yesterday morning. So, should be in Preston for about 5.
Oh, enjoy yourself, darling.
Will do. Afternoon. Beautiful. I'll wait here for him. Just parked up in a bit of a space to let this other boat come through. Here they come.
Thank you.
No problem.
They're good deck packs then, aren't they?
Oh,
Those deck packs are really good.
oh they're really good.
Yeah.
Any luck?
No, we just came in.
Ah, fine. Okay, well, after heading west away from the lunch spot, we've finally started to turn and head south now. Just about to pass under the Preston bypass. And we've got a few kilometres of this, and then it'll turn back east, and we'll be on the run into Preston. Still a good 2 hours to go. A little bit of shade from that sun. Well, at least now my right ear can get a bit of sun, as opposed to just my left getting burnt. I can feel my cheeks are red. South we go. Good afternoon. It's not been bad. It's not bad at all.
Are you heading anywhere particular?
Preston. I've done the full length of the canal over the last 2 days.
Really?
So I'll be there about 5. Will do. See ya. There's another pub coming up here on our right. I actually debated making this like an alternate lunch spot, but it's 3:15, so it would have been well after when I actually ate, like 3 hours ago, over 3 hours ago. I think it's called the Hand and Dagger or something like that. We'll see when we get a bit closer. But that's a proper old school looking building next to a canal bridge. The Hand and Dagger. There we go, Preston town centre, 5¼ miles. Garstang, 11½. And we were just north of, well, we're a couple of miles north of Garstang. Well, 5 to 6 miles north of Garstang actually, when we left today. 16 or so miles done so far. Another 5 to go. I wonder what that is. A railway bridge? I can tell you I'm feeling it in my shoulders and my neck now. Oof. The arms will be dead as well, but they've been dead since lunchtime yesterday. They're just on autopilot. Got a couple of cyclists on the towpath. I don't think there's many boats come through here. It's very green, the river. Just algae everywhere. Good afternoon. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been cleared for a long time. If there were boats coming through, it'd mix it up a bit and move it out to the sides, and this just looks like a carpet. We're finally coming back out of the carpet of green. Some boats up ahead, and I'm pretty sure this is the point where we've turned back towards the west now, so we're heading back towards Preston. See, with the Lancaster Canal being the longest canal in the UK that has no locks along its main navigation. So it's 42 miles, but obviously they had to zigzag and go the long way around to make sure they had the right grade everywhere. If they had locks, it'd be a much more direct route. But if it had locks, you'd be getting in and out all the time. So I can't decide what I prefer, whether I prefer getting in and out now and again, because it forces some blood back into the legs, makes you stand up, makes you straighten yourself out, or whether I like the fact that your average speed just keeps going. Tough call. Looks like we might have a bit of a marina or something coming up here. Or maybe it's just a boatyard. Salwick Moorings. Home stretch. Time are we on? 25 past 3. Still on schedule for about 5 o'clock. Catch you in a bit. Reach 25. Alright. Okay, we got another swan. Quite vocal as well, this one. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I know. I'm going to stay over this side though. Is that okay with you? Fair enough. Lost him. Spent about 2 hours catching him up. And then he disappears. Good afternoon.
Look who's behind the bomb.
Staring.
Staring.
Yeah.
They barked the first time. Last week he seen somebody. Was it you last week when they barked?
No.
You seen somebody barked on the way past you. Was all right when he come back. I'll have a swim if you want to swim.
We are now officially less than an hour away. 53 minutes. Just over 4 kilometres to go. Bridge number 18. We're down to bridge 18. And I'm not going to lie, my shoulders are aching. They're burning. And for some reason, 5 Live stopped working on me. So I'm not even listening to the footy at the moment. I need to pull over and sort that out. Got a lovely little shaded section here. Not seeing any boats moving since that one that I overtook hours ago. Seems they don't use this end of the canal.
You're up Lancaster.
That's the Ribble Junction. You what? Where is it? Colour is it?
Somewhere. Yeah. I think it's coming.
If you can't see it, boys,
How long you been doing that for?
since yesterday morning. Yeah. Come all the way 40 miles. See you later.
Yay!
1 mile to go. Bridge 14. We've got a hidden viaduct there. Bridge 13. folks, that's it. That's the end of the canal. And fittingly, there's a swan. There's a swan to come and say hello. Isn't that sod's law?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Love it.
Hello.
I wasn't travelling like 6 months.
Oh, I can imagine. There's only so many
Hi,
times.
swan.
Well, I can't bear this.
Technically, there's a tiny little spur there at the end. But if I go down there, I'm getting trapped by a swan, aren't I? And nobody wants that. Not when I've got away with it. So that, I think, folks, is that. I'm going to get out here, put the stuff away, and there's a little bit of a hike back to the truck. What a mission. 7 hours today. 7 hours moving, isn't it? 33 kilometres. That was a mission, that. My shoulders are wrecked, but we're not done yet. We're out. That's been a torturous walk. Oh my god. 20 minutes. On my back. Okay, so annoyingly here, the battery had run out in the receiver for my microphone. So although I am chatting while I'm putting all the gear away here, it was over 6 months ago, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm saying. I do remember that bag seeming like the heaviest thing in the world at the time though. So that's the trip pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.